Welcome, and it's probably robo voice for me. Should be better now, I hope. Hello. Welcome. Good day. It's I think, episode number 1 of the MOMW Show. I'm here with Sector, who was just telling me about some cool stuff he was working on, and I just want you to go ahead and continue that thought, man.
Good morning. I'm so glad to come and hang out on the stream. So right now I'm working on MOMW, which we've talked about a little bit, and maybe some people in the stream are really familiar with the whole idea. Um, Basically the concept here is that we are trying to build like a totally different editor for Morrowind and OpenMW modding in particular, take advantage of some of those extra features. What makes Trench Room special and fancy beyond like the things that either construction set will give you is that it is a bridge between your level editing tools and your 3D design stuff. So it's kind of like Blender smashed in with the construction set at the same time. Really cool. So what I've been doing is trying to implement a system that will actually build a Quake map into a bunch of NIFs, a bunch of meshes for Morrowind, and an ESP file that you can actually get into your game. And it's come along pretty well. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm implementing support for all of the magical items. Those were really, really messy to actually put into a game definition that Trench Broom could read.
Like
So I
Morrowind
figured I should
magical
probably
items.
start there.
Morrowind magical items,
Morrowind,
right?
yes. So specifically, we're talking about potions, ingredients, and alchemy apparatuses. Yeah.
Cool. That's neat stuff, man. I totally love it.
Yeah, it's been quite enjoyable. I just got potions like all rocking and ready to roll last night. I made some really ugly, nasty potions that I posted in the OpenMW Discord, and it's coming
Yeah.
along pretty nicely. We haven't gotten really to get into any of the really advanced stuff that we wanted to do. Puck sent me this really cool skybox shader that we can use to. It's basically like a green screen effect.
Epoch. You said Epoch, right? Epoch. Hey, Detail Devil, how goes it? And Sophie's here with us too. Welcome.
Sophie, what's up? And Detail Devil, it's so nice to see you guys. But yeah, so the skybox shader, it is literally a green screen. So what we do is you make a box, and then you just check a little checkbox in the editor that says, "Hey, this thing is the sky," and it doesn't actually save a texture to it. It makes it green, and then when you are in game, the Quake skybox shader is rendered on top of that.
Nice. Yeah, I remember earlier discussions about that and thinking like, wow, of course the skybox has to be kind of weird in Quake.
Of course, the skybox has to be like one of the most complicated parts of the entire thing, right?
Yeah. Hey, Smallio.
Because it's so archaic that what they did was they'll have a single texture. The concept of transparency in textures literally did not exist at this point in time. It just wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
So they have one texture that's like two layered next to each other, and then all of the black pixels will just get deleted. And so you get this nice like scrolling skybox effect where it looks like it's two textures, but in the editor it just looks like your textures are horribly broken. It's kind of confusing at first, really.
It's the Morrowind way. Get used to the brokenness. Embrace it.
Get used to the seeming brokenness, but we promise everything is actually working exactly as intended.
It just works, as they say. Awesome. That's exciting. I have to and so yeah, I had Trench Broom open here in one of the browsers. Oh me, oh my, where'd it go? Uh-huh. At some point we'll look at it, on this stream. And experience the goodness. But yeah, it's been kind of exciting to see that build out. Thank you for the rundown there, Sector, and for the work, my man.
Yeah, it's a total pleasure, and I encourage anybody, regardless of my project, you should really go try Trench Brim. It is legitimately the most fun piece of software I have ever used in my whole life. And if I didn't think that it was a really, really good time to use, I wouldn't be spending my time building this. I really encourage anybody, especially who thinks that they will suck at doing 3D modeling of any kind, like go try Trench Brim, do some blockouts, build a couple levels, maybe go play some Quake.
Oh yeah, agree on both. Actually, you're the second friend who is like emphatically recommended Trench Broom to me. Ezzy, Dr. Ezzy, as I like to call him, uh, a while back recommended it to me. And then when you brought it up, I was like, oh yeah, wait a minute, I do remember that. So that's cool stuff. Right here, what I've got going on though is, and I believe we discussed this internally a little bit, but I thought we had some big ideas about the CFG generator, but the first thing I thought is you have some mods that are like used regardless of if you have a dev build, but maybe they have dev build specific options, and it becomes kind of awkward to convey to the user, like, how do we set this up, you know? And so it's kind of brainstorming with you and Sophie specifically, and we were talking about, like, I don't know, a checkbox here or somewhere, you know, on the settings page. Actually, it's probably right now, since the settings page is where that stuff goes, and this is kind of getting into the second thing I wanted to mention. It should go into the settings page, but then, like, should we put the settings that are relevant here, like a widget to edit them here too? I don't know. Does it make sense to force people to go to another page for that? I don't know. But I think we should try to bite off little pieces at a time, right? So for now, maybe we can just add it here. But the option would be a checkbox, right? I want to use dev build stuff, please. So yeah, I think that's the approach I'm going to take right now. Let's do it.
I think that's a good idea, and maybe there's some potential to put to actually like merge these paths into config generator itself. Maybe.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's a little bit too much context switching in like where I am on the list, and then user settings, and then also the config generator, which, to be fair, you only ever have to use the user settings once.
So you mean, to clarify, you mean like having the form right here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, yep, I agree completely, honestly. And I think so. I think a step 2 would be, so right now we got this code right here. That's the CFG, the settings page. It's nothing too crazy, right? Just some basic HTML buttons and things like that. But what would be cool is, you know, we've got this fancy Django template language thing going on here. What would be cool is like rip out these parts, right? The HTML that's responsible for this action, put it into a template, and that way we can effectively copy paste it with a line of code like this, right? Except for it would be something like load, you know, settings, something like that, right? If I could type. So that would be cool. I think that's also, though, like a stretch goal, because I'm like scope creeping a little bit here. All right, Sophie. Yeah, good morning. Yes. And so, yeah, I think, by the way, on that note, like, this is kind of the new format that I want to try for the stream. And, you know, just having the MOMW squad come in and join the chat while I'm sitting here slapping my keyboard. Okay. So, I think I'm going to put it.
Just get myself signed into Discord here so I can actually read the chat.
Hey ho, Shinino, welcome. Good day to you. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so I think I'm going to put that below the data files thing here. And above the theme, and then, yeah, keeping clear your data at the bottom. Just because that's like, you know, that's the nuclear button. Okay.
Hello.
Gonzo, hey, welcome.
Good morning, big brother.
Welcome to the MOMW Show. Yeah, first episode with, hopefully not the last, with the bringing the squad in on voice, and hopefully soon on camera. I don't know. I have to figure out how to do that. All right.
Just speak for yourself, brother. I don't have a webcam.
Oh, well.
I might acquire one. I might.
So I'm gonna say opt.
She's good at that. She likes to just like scooch forward to you endlessly, so you move over, so you have room, and then she'll scooch next to you more.
Is that your kitty? All right. So I'm gonna just
Mr.
call
Soup.
it. Yeah, Mr. Soup. I'm gonna call it opt into dev build stuff, and it's gonna just a checkbox. I forget what that actually is. So let's ask the interwebs. MDN input chat. Hey, look, I've done this before. I'm going to go ahead and just tick that so I don't lose it when my history gets wiped. Whenever that happens. So just type checkbox. Aight. Yeah, we're going to have to. Yes, dev. That's what I'm going to call it. Name. Yes, dev. There's no placeholder. It's not a text field. Let's just see what we have now. I feel like I'm editing blind at the moment. Who? Oops. Okay. Opt into dev build stuff. All right, so we don't need the button, obviously. Let's go ahead and whack that out. Gonzo, man. So you've been working on, we have a fabulous video that we've been producing for everybody to help navigate the website. Maybe Gonzo, who's been primarily doing the heavy lifting on the editing, can tell us a little bit about that while I'm over here doing all this, if you please.
Oh, it's so embarrassing. I barely know what I'm doing.
Maybe I could play the, would it be, is it too soon to show the snippet on here? Should I show that?
So I've been capturing flybys. I've been capturing stills for like the chapter headings, and I want to make a video that guides you through every single step that you could possibly encounter when using the website. All the tools that it asks you to use. I have a 5.5 hour cut as well of just the every single step in the total overhaul list. So you see me deleting every single file that it asks you to delete, and make every single TS3 CMD edit that it asks you to make. And I'll post that up separately as well for people to follow along. It'll be an outdated version of the 6.0 total overhaul list, to be fair, but I think it covers every step.
Nice. That's amazing. Yeah. So that's what we're really trying to go for. Thank you, Detail Devil. And actually, on that note, Settiness, who's come on board lately, helped us. Ooh, yeah. I should show, by the way, the update center, of course. Settiness has done some pretty sweet mock-ups of, how a redesign of the website basically might look like in a way that makes it easier to use. But just a quick diversion, here's the Update Center, which we launched earlier this week, which is an answer to the question that I've gotten from folks before. How do I know, when I'm on Nexus Mods, I've got like my update page. I think they actually call it Update Center too. So that's how I know stuff is being up to date, and I can follow along. And so this is the answer to that. And not only do we show you like stable releases, but we can also show you development updates, right? Like, ooh, Benjamin is clearly doing something with Delta plugin. Nice. I myself earlier this morning was hacking on NCGD, actually, along with MYM, my good buddy. So
Speaking
yeah.
of Delta plugin, some users might be very excited to hear this, but I believe it was yesterday when we saw that thing about ground cover 5 pop up. The fix to just run Delta plugin through the UI is now enabled in Delta plugin. So hopefully soon we might be able to just not force people to use the command line in order to build their Delta plugins. The only missing part there is it needs some kind of like visibility on errors. Because right now, if it messes up, it'll just explode silently, and you have no idea what's happening.
Maybe we could add like a batch script to their CI, you know, so the Windows build could have like a bat file. Yeah, it's coming back. Hype. But yeah, maybe we could ship with like a bat file that will like wait for input after it executes or something like that. Would be probably the path of least resistance, I think. Oh my goodness. We've been live for 15 minutes and we got spam. That's cool. Let me just go ahead and whoosh, Gonzo. Thank you. All right. So wait, I don't need a paragraph here. Whoosh. Just give it a proper label. So we're semantic. And then that. Okay, so I really, though, want this to be next to it and not below it. I don't know. I mean, we can do it. But it's the matter of, you know, doing CSS. Let's see here.
I do feel like there might be some merit in keeping those separate.
Okay.
So that it's very explicit what the user is getting into.
I will do that. Yeah, I will do that as a, let's just leave it as is then. Because, yeah, any excuse really to not, like, peel back my eyeballs enough to read CSS right now would be great. So now we have this. But one thing I do have to peel back my eyeballs for is some JavaScript action. Because now we need to know about this new thing that we're doing. But I don't really remember how any of this works because it's been a couple months. So let's just go ahead and jump in. Okay, so this is a hack script. Clear settings. Okay, so it does look like I have compartmentalized. Yeah, since these are all adding event listeners, I can just plop it into the global namespace. I'm sure actual JavaScript devs look at this and they're like, it's fine, I'm sure. Okay, so yeah, we have a separate script for set MWDir. Yeah, this is fine. So I'm going to make it just another script, JavaScript, where we're going to look for events on this thing. And we already have the documentation open. So we can, yeah. There we go. Okay. So let's copy the file. I'm just going to go to, static.js. I've done this before. We're going to go to clear settings. And we're going to call, what are we going to call this? I'm just going to call it yes dev. Concise and fun, I would argue. Okay. I will probably never update that ever again. And it does, honestly, is just for posterity. I don't actually care. I care so little about licenses, but I'm just doing it for posterity. Okay. So. The extra space. Wait, Shanino, you mean right here next to the checkbox? Just curious. Oh, after 2024? Wait. Good looking out. That's a bad, that's a bad copy pasta on my part. Thank you. All right, so we're just going to call this setup. Yes, dev. And I can use a fun name like that because nobody's looking at the code. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I'm leaving that. Okay. Typically, I don't want to put like a console log spam into the JavaScript that we have people actually running, but I think leaving it in for the, so it's in the wipe code. Come on. It's in the wipe code here. I'm leaving that in there just as like a paper trail for when somebody nukes their thing. It would theoretically be in the log. But for this one, we're not leaving it in here. I'm going to have it in there for testing, though.
Logs exist for a reason. You're meant to use them. Don't overthink it, big boss.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. All right, let's whack that out of there. I appreciate that. I'm going to call it, yes. Okay. All right. Yeah, we actually kind of want to. I think we want this to run on every page, pretty much, right? Or on the typical pages that care about paths. Let's see what I do for the other pages. Let's look at the base real quick. Yeah, I'm just doing it at the base. We should do that here too. Okay. Now this should just spam the console. Yeah. Here we go. Mamma mia. All right. Well, that's unusual. Oh, right. I have to click the thing. So let's do that. Okay, yeah. It's not going to do it multiple times. Instead, it's just going to, you can see right here, it says 6. And we'll just keep queuing that up. Okay, well, that's more or less what I wanted to see at this point. So, let's now open a set. And now, so one thing we do need to do now is when the user clicks this, we need to say, oh, you want dev stuff, and we'll put that in the local storage. Local storage is where we're actually putting all the other settings that you put on your website experience here. All goes into that, and it's something that's built into every web browser. And it's not something that the website ever gets to see, with the exception of with the CFG generator, we do send some of that, so that we can give you the right stuff. So we want to just copy like this little bit here, because we're going to set a distinct storage key. Yes, dev. You know what? I'm going to just be consistent there. Otherwise, my brain might hurt later. And so, yeah, so we have to do a little bit more initialization here, too. We have current, yes, dev. Ooh, my language server's like, slow down, buddy. There we go. Get item is what we want. We're going to say storage. Come on. Yes, dev. Okay. A little bit of boilerplate here. I feel like a real JavaScript developer will be looking and face palming right now, but what can you do? All right. So at this point, we really don't want to do much except for just store the value when it's clicked. So we'll get we have the current there, and so when it's clicked, we'll just do something like, ooh, I have gotten a little fancy here. I abstracted all that. We're just going to do something like local, whoop. Set item. And since we have just a yes or no value here, we can do something like this. Get item. And this should just work the way we want to, but we will sanity check. Okay. It's off. True. Good, good. False. Good. Oh. All right. That's fun. Well, that's fun. What have I done here? Hey, Hunger, welcome. What was that?
I said it just simply works.
It just simply works or not. Welcome, Hunger. Good to see you. Welcome back. All right. I don't know if this is really gonna make a diff, but let's go ahead and JavaScript always makes me work harder than I want to. Okay, well, that's not what it should have done. So this is like, you know, no. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Detail double. Thank you. That's a good question. And by AI, you mean specifically like stuff like GitHub Copilot or ChatGPT and that kind of thing. Pretty interesting. The way that it works, the way these things work, as I understand them, which, you know, I'm strictly a caveman when it comes to knowledge about these things. But the way I understand it is, you know, the more it slurps in. If you ever seen the movie Short Circuit, like Johnny Number 5, it's just like a name dear to my heart. He's just getting more and more knowledge, but like also garbage in, garbage out counts too. So I do wonder like what the end result is going to be. For example, with GitHub Copilot, where it's like taking all code basically that's put on GitHub, putting it into its LLM DB, you know. I don't know, but I think at least as in the short term, it's interesting for me to see the way people are using it for sure. Von Django's, for example, I'm absolutely loving their work. Like their work sounds really good, right? Like for a lot of AI voice, you can kind of be like, okay, woof, like that's Oblivion grade voice acting, no offense. But like for Von Django stuff, it's as far as what I've heard, it's solid.
When we talk on the subject of programming specifically, this is one that I feel like I have kind of a unique perspective on because I got really heavy into coding just before this actually became like a mainstream thing. So there was a period of like 8 months when I started going to college where this didn't exist and most of us were all totally new. And then there was like November 2022, and after that ChatGPT came out, and we also took in a new cohort of students at the exact same time. And you could see a very marked difference in the experiences that people had before and after ChatGPT came out, because you had this phenomenon where people were literally just like staring at the machine and talking to it and bashing their head into it all day long, right? So I think that there is a big potential for it to hold people back when they are beginning. You have to understand how to do at least a little bit of the work and think through the problems that you're trying to solve and boss the machine around a little
For sure.
bit. And if you're able to take ownership of it and like trust in yourself to have a little bit of human expertise, I think it can be really beneficial. I took a pretty hardline stance against it for a while, and then there was a point recently where when I started working on MOMW, I had to do a lot of 3D math, which I suck at. I'm not very good at 2D math, let alone like
Ditto.
yeah, it was really bad. So I was like, well, ChatGPT's got to be good at math, dude. And it turns out it is. I didn't figure out my original code, but it was very useful to me in that regard, and I feel like it can be very beneficial, especially more so when you're talking about like Von Jangos's work and where we're getting voice and asset creation involved. That makes people a lot more powerful than they ever were before. It's still your own fault if you put out trash content. But the internet is full of absolutely trash content and
To be fair, it's
horrible,
not easy
awful
though.
mods.
Too right. Django's has been iterating for years now on that for a while. It's not easy, you know. So I'm not
It's
trash
not.
talking stuff that doesn't sound perfect, but oof, Django's is like perfect. And yeah, Sophia also I forgot been working on AI on the AI upscaling front, and yeah, it's like, you know, the good starting point. I think for code maybe, but oof, you know, it's iffy. But for art stuff, textures, you know, probably helps too.
Outside of Morrowind too, like AI upscaling has like really given a facelift to a lot of older games. Like I remember playing through Final Fantasy IX recently, and you know, in the original or the Square re-release, they didn't upscale the backgrounds at all because they didn't have the originals anymore. But modders went back in and did an AI upscale on those backgrounds, and they look phenomenal.
Yeah, I played the Switch port of Final Fantasy VII, and yeah, it's they didn't have same thing. They didn't have the original assets. They just had to work with ripping them off the PS1 disc basically, or the PC port. Detail Devil chiming in too, using AI textures and dialogue inspiration. Dialogue inspiration, that's an interesting one too, right? I'm avoiding my JavaScript here. Yeah, that's a very interesting take. Dialogue and I think in general, I saw also MD Melchior Dark said that he's using like throwing ideas at AI to see what it produces, and then he's like kind of running with that as well. That's cool, you know. I mean, can't argue with that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think that you should use the machine as like a rubber duck, regardless of whether you're creating voices or you're creating images or you're trying to produce code. Work with it. Don't let the machine replace you and layer your own expertise on top of that. You can do some really incredible things. I've
True.
seen Melchior Dark like go through this process, start to finish, in MMC once or twice, where he asks for a dagger and he's like, oh yeah, that's a really cool idea, I'm gonna go model that out real quick, and he like shows us the images of the mesh that he's made and the original image from the AI and everything. It gives you a lot more capability than anybody ever had before.
Totally, totally. Oh, I've seen it make much disaster with code. So definitely be wary about using it for too much code inspiration. Like for code, maybe it could be useful in the sense of like, I don't know the name of the thing I'm looking for, right? Like sometimes because I don't have like a computer science education, I would describe a problem to a friend who does, and they'd be like, oh, well, you just need this or that pattern, you know? And I'm like, oh, right, okay. Let's see, get my, there we go.
Really good for that kind of thing, or like if you just are, if it's just like late or you're working on some weird problem and there doesn't happen to be anybody around to talk to, you know, just be like,
Yeah.
hey chat, I made some stupid syntax error, I don't know what's going on.
I have to have done
Half the
that, by
time.
the way, because I have no idea. Like, it's okay. I have to, sorry, just jump out here. It's checked and it says false. I've done this, typoed clearly. I don't know. Yeah. Wow. What the hey? So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna close the browser. Sandy, hey pup. Sandy, check myself. Because this wouldn't be the first time an unexpected aggressive caching. Okay, Twitch. Hello. Loki. Oh, I love the name. Smalley, are you still listening? Loki. Sector's pup is Loki. All right, null. Oh, okay, good. See, that's good. Null to true, good. True to false, good. Oh, yeah, sure. I hear you. Yeah, for sure. False, false. This is the where we get in the, okay, woof. All right, so my code here, not this right here, not going to cut it. Ooh. Oh, you're talking, oh, so you're talking about AI. Psh, I thought you were still talking about your pup. Yeah, wow. That's interesting regarding the Quake thing. So, okay, my log says it was basically working as expected. And then oh, right. Of course, because I have to save it as a string. I don't think it can save a Boolean. And in fact, when I'm doing, so if we go over here, no, it's not there. It's elsewhere. And I'm not going to find it now. But what I do is I take a JSON object. I take a bunch of data, format it in JSON encoded, and then I turn it into a string and store it as that. Right, okay. Now I remember. So how do we do? I knew I was goofing something here. Come on. Oh, okay. I didn't actually see those videos yet, Detail Devil. Interesting. I will say, though, I was reading a blog post by the author of Flask and many other great softwares, and he was writing about some Python packaging solution he had, and he was like, we need a rap song about Python packaging. Oh, wait, here it is. AI made it for me. And I listened to it, and I'm like, well, I mean, it's a rap song about Python packaging, all right. Let's make sure I'm not going to reinvent some crappy wheel here. Boolean prototype 2 string. Okay. All right. So, 2. Yeah. Awesome. We're going to call this new val, because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to invert it right away because we've clicked. So the inversion must happen when we get this far. And I got a new val. Come on. Come on. I am very disappointed. All right. Give me that log noise I want to see. Oh, wait. We have to, so is there, I assume, a tubool, right? Oh. I see. Yeah, that's simple enough. Okay. So what we'll do is this. Okay. No. That's the one I want. Okay. False. Okay, even though that's false. Oh, right. That's right. This is wrong. Hold on. Okay. And then, wowee. I need like a Psyduck GIF here right now. Because I'm just like, ugh. All right. just for additional insanity. We'll keep things the right type. Okay. That's a false there. Yeah, that's that JavaScript schema right there. It's not for when you don't want to just be equal, but you want to like really, really, really be equal. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, so this is cursed right here, I think. Let's see, what was it was a true. How it not have two string? Okay. Let's try
Is
this.
that like a mechanism that gets past data types or something like that?
What's that? I'm sorry.
The triple equal sign.
Oh, right. All right, we're gonna go just a very quick jump down this rabbit hole. The script. Basically, it's how deep do you want your equality to be?
In mathematical terms, it's equivalence versus congruence.
Ooh, okay. Nice. I like that. It's hard to explain beyond just looking at some practical examples here though, right? If you use 3 equal signs, that will not be true. So there's like some implicit type conversion going on basically. When you use just the 2, and you usually don't really want that, right? This is an interesting one right here though. So yeah, I just generally just always do the explicit comparison here because I want to just jive with the types. You know what I'm saying? Usually for something like this, you don't want to avoid the types. But that's what it's for, I think, in a nutshell.
If you think about it like on a really low level, right? This comes up every now and then in C. It's one of my favorite tricks. Null and 0. These are 2 completely different things in exactly what they are and how you define them. But null and 0, in terms of your computer's memory, they are both just an empty space. They are 0. It's just one little slot where nothing is there.
Thinking
right?
like a compiler. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can be lazy about it and say, well, is it 0? Is this not true? And you can kind of like loosely say if this thing is not true. Or you can look at it directly and say, hey, is this a null pointer? So there's 2 different ways that you can kind of think about like exactly what something is. Especially, that'll also apply to empty strings as well, right? If you have a sentence with no letters or words in it, there's no really any other way to represent that except just 0. So they're different representations of the same thing.
Yes.
In most cases, you can pretty much just get off using the triple equal sign, and I think that was more or less how I was taught to do JavaScript. I don't remember, I didn't do a ton of it, but...
Yeah, and in this case, it's JavaScript kind of leaking that through in an awkward way that will trip up people who are not familiar with the language. Okay. So it's pulling the wrong thing out, but we have our 2 string here. This is happening, obviously, which is good. And it's not getting updated. Excuse me. It's not getting updated, which is fine. I should comment that out, too, because that's just noise. I'm bringing them both back, actually. I was having a cache issue, so that's why I removed it. See? False? What you mean, false? Must be a problem with how we are saving it, right? Okay. Yeah. Ooh. that reminds me. We have to go back to our clear settings, and we need to erase. We need to include this in the things we're wiping. And I can use the wipe everything button. Oh, no. Actually, I don't need to. Yeah, this gives me that. See you, Detail Devil. Good talking again. This gives us that, actually. Okay, never mind. My derpy self. Let's just go ahead and do that. Let's, like, wipe the data. All right. Reload the page. False? What? Should be null, I would think. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Let's see what happens if I just click it this time. Yeah, and that's not even right. Okay. Let me take a step back here. We got that data wipe happening. Cool. Should be null, but, you know, whatever. And now I'm just going to get some noise here. Yeah, okay. I mean, up here said it was false. Interestingly, and then when I okay, after I've clicked it, it sets it to true. Maybe that is expected now, but when it's all right, let's put this back now. ToString should be good. It's good right here. That's string. That's a bool. Okay. Clear the data. Reload the page. Ooh, you know what we also need to do here? We need to... So something, okay. Something's going on here because we're not setting this based on the actual value. So let's do that. We'll just do it down here. If... Come on. We can say if... Or really, we don't even need to do it, right? We can just say... What is the... Yeah, check. Just checked. That's what I thought. We'll just set it to whatever the current is when the page loads. Sane default, I think. We should see that go away. Boom. All right. Now we're in sync with reality. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I reload the page. We have not saved it yet. It's blown up before we save it. Line 32, which is okay. All right. So, since it appears to work, this is probably some async crap going on. Let's do this. My not knowing anything about JavaScript is probably leaking through here. Check. That seems wrong. Not saved. Let's bring that back. Check it. Huh. All right. Oh, huh. All right. So I think I'm going about this the whole entirely wrong way, and I need to be looking at, is it checked or not? Please don't cache me. Interesting. Okay, so we need more sanity checking here. Ooh, or we can, I wonder if I'm just referring to this, my reference to this is wrong, or there's some other semantics I'm doing wrong. Anyways, sanity check time. Ah, yeah. Steve Brule moment, you dingus. Yes. Took way longer than it should. And now we can code golf it down to this, now that I don't need all this other stuff. And we can know it works because we check it and we reload the page and it's not checked. We check it again, reload the page, boom. We are saving the value now. If I clear the data. Ooh, I'm gonna need you. Okay. Reload the page. I was right a moment ago when I was flailing over here. We do need to. Check it. Reload it. Is checked. Clear it. Oh no. Oh. Maybe it's just cached me. Actually, we're clearing it, so it would just be false. I'm making this harder than I need to. All right, we'll revisit that. So now let's look at the CFG generator. So we are successfully taking from the user their decision if they want to opt into dev settings. And let's take a look at the, okay, so at the CFG generator, when we load JavaScript on a page, typically in our templates, typically we're doing it at the bottom here, and we've got a special block that we set for them, lower_JS. So if you're curious about any JavaScript business that goes on in any template and you're looking at the code, this is where you would look. Custom CFG gen. So let's just peek at this thing. Custom CFG gen. Okay. Oh my, yeah, I remember this code. Wowee. Lots commented things. All right. Checks. Check. That's a puzzling name. Okay, so let's look at the Python, because I actually forget how we are actually getting that data from the user. Thought we were stuffing it in some post. Yeah. Okay. We're putting it in the post. Okay, cool. So really all we need to do here is we need to write another checkbox on the CFG generator page. This is what we were bleeding into what we talked about from the get-go, you know, and I was speaking with Sophia earlier about we probably need to bring this stuff really probably should be like right here. Like, sure, we give you the value. That's all fine and good now. Get out of here and go to the right page to change it. Yeah, well, we link you at least, but I don't know. Really, it's more and more feeling like it'll be fine right now. But it's more and more feeling like we're going to need to, provide this right here just for like a more easy user experience, right? Throwing people all over the place. All right. And actually, let's go here. So really, we don't actually need to do anything in this. What we need to do is in here, on here, we need to do something in the script body. So not in the listener, but below here, we're going to do something where we'll put some element on the page, on the CFG generator page, that's going to write the state as a string that we can send to the backend. What do you mean by that? I mean this. Something like this. We're already doing this here. List. No. List. I was just looking at it. Oh, okay. So it's just... Let's look at the form. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Post. I completely forget how this works. So really, we're just pulling the mod list out of there, which would be the values of if the... So when you check one of these, it basically stuffs that mod in a list, and if you uncheck it, it removes it. So we're stuffing mods into a list here. Okay. How does that change our form here? Or should I put I'm going to put a hidden field here. Something the user isn't going to see because they don't need to see it. Let's refer back to my friend MDN here for the hidden input. Yes, okay. So we're going to call this input. Okay, and we're just going to set the value from JavaScript. Actually, we're going to actually not dupe the name here. We're going to call it YesDev hidden, just to simplify things. I don't want to do a bunch of gymnastics. Okay, we're going to say... And we're going to say if this one, then write to it to the value, right? So so if the thing exists, this is going to be truey. If it doesn't exist, it's going to be undefined, which is falsy. And we won't hit this block. You could argue I should be like more, I should do the triple equals here, but this is good enough. I like doing it this way, and I like omitting the curly braces when I can. Don't hate me. But I never forget the semicolon. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and, actually, I'm going to add curlies here just for a temporary sanity check. Console log. Because I want to see now what we're giving ourselves. Come on. Oh, wait. Did I not save this? sure did. Busted by the cache again. Okay. That's fun. Yeah, look at that. It's blue, meaning N304, meaning it was cached. Okay. Santa, hey man. Hi. Welcome. Ooh, okay. Okay, this good, see? That's very good. All right. Oh, you know what? I have to... Okay, I'm going to... Oh, come on. Oh, no, wait. No, that's good. It didn't blow up. That's good. But I should be seeing this. Let's do this. Okay. Santa, you popping in reminded me. I have to go check something. I'm going to be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, I'm back. All right, so let's go ahead and just bust the browser open here. That's how you want to be. Only way I can get a truthful response out of it, really. Ooh, all right. Let's just skip the... Regardless of if I click anything, it should show something there. Huh? Oh, right. Oh, I'm so silly. Okay. Not only do I have to remember how my JavaScript works, I have to remember how the CFG generator works. Let's click a relatively small list like I Heart Vanilla, because it's going to bust my laptop a little bit here. Ah, there we go. Yeah, okay. Great. Empty string. Not quite what I expected, but all right. So let's do this. Let's go back to our JavaScript here. So we this should be giving me false here. Boom. Yes. Yeah. The things you just write, random things, you know, to sanity check yourself. Depends on like how far down the path of madness you are, right? Like how much have you committed to Dagoth translates to how many cuss words you start typing in there, you know? Like I have totally forsaken Dagoth at this point. We're just saying oh hi, and I'm not like typing bad language in there. But if I was like, we would be cursing the Enwas and so on. All right. Empty string. So by the time we get there, I'm going to go ahead and actually, no. I should get something here. False, good, yeah. Nothing, good. Okay. So, interesting. I think the cache is... Oh, no. Okay, so it's... By the time we're here, we're still a... So this probably has to be a string. All right. Okay.
What you doing?
Hurdrax, hey, welcome. Welcome to episode 1 of the MOMW Show. Everybody, Hurdrax here with us. We're just, doing what we do, banging our head against the desk. How are you?
Oh, you guys are live.
We're live, my friend.
Oh my god. Okay, thank you. Spontaneous moment of embarrassment. I just thought that you guys were.
Morning, buddy.
Hey, Sector.
Well, now
Man,
you're here,
that sucks. God damn it. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. Actually, so since you just joined in, this is actually the intention was to pull the squad into the stream, into voice, and have it not just be me slapping my keyboard, So I'm glad you popped in.
Man, nice. Okay, now I see you. Like the hoodie. Yeah. Looking
It's a little
good.
chilly here still. A little bit of smarch weather going on here in the heartland. So. Okay, so this is right. Come on, you're killing. Oh, geez. Do you see what I did here? Look at this. This is your brain on JavaScript, friends. This is no bueno. 2? That's not assignment. Oh, my. Oh, wow. All right. You want to talk about embarrassment, Hurdrax. There you go right there.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. All right. That's the thing that we need. Good. All right. So now we can successfully send it.
I think we're in pretty good shape if that's the worst thing that happens to us.
Yeah. We can send it to the back end now, and we can remove those evil curly braces. Whew. All right. So now the back end can know about this. We just have to suss it out properly. So now I'm interested in what that does to the CFG generator results, though. Now because this code makes an assumption. Right here, we are saying, oh yeah, the mod list is everything in the post dict, but now that's not true because we're sending along a Boolean string that looks like a Boolean. Okay, well, let's just do the old thing that we do and hope for the best. Welcome to the chat. All right. Oh, we don't need this for now. We're back to the Python console, hovering somewhere above the realm of sanity. And what I hope to see here now is some extra stuff. No? Okay. CFG generator. List.
Where's our kernel of coolness?
Our what?
Our kernel of coolness, brother Gonzo.
Oh, I know. He was here. Oh, there he is. It's the true MOMW show now.
Yeah, sorry,
it'd be
didn't realize my Discord had crashed.
Good old Discord. It would be the true show if we had everybody here.
Now we're talking. Two beautiful voices versus two ugly ones.
Hello,
Oh, come on.
Hurdrax. How's it going?
Hey, my brother, long time no see.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Sophia, for the recap. So that's what, as Sophie just said, we're trying to do, taking a step back. And I'm just going to interrupt you guys in your conversation. Sorry. Taking a step back, we're giving folks the ability to say, if I'm using a mod list that has mods which have development only options, we're giving people a way to express that. Because right now it's a little awkward. If we, for example, take my own mod as an example, there's all these awkward extra steps that you have to go through. That's just totally against our philosophy as of late, thanks to the MOMW Squad and their beautiful work, where we just give you something that you can work with and it just works, right? And this goes against that. Like these special steps here, just is gross. So we're trying to solve that problem and give you a box to check that will tell the MOMW website, I want this. I don't need to care about the extra usage notes. And that's what we're doing right now. We're trying to. Oh, preset. Here we go. See, look at this. Okay. Okay. So helps if I remember how my own website works. Let's go ahead and check everything. And now, here we go. Yeah, check all. Here we go. That's it. We've already been stuffing stuff in there. Oh, okay. I see. We've already been putting just anything in there. So check all, for example, comes from, oh man, it's like clarity moment. Oops. Check all. Check all is just simply this thing, right? That we check all for. Awkwardly not checked when you load the page. I think that's a bug we decided to leave off with because JavaScript is making me insane. But yes, okay. My concern was we were passing extra information to the back end. Oh, you know what? I totally wanted to start. Hold on. Whoops. Don't copyright me, bro. Don't ask me why I just thought of this just now. There we go. I wanted to put some very quiet. Don't copyright me, bro. Music for the stream. Like very quiet. I hope that's coming through. Yeah, it's probably too quiet to hear. All right. There we go. Okay, so I was concerned we were putting extra garbage into the back end and we were going to make the Python code unhappy, but we're not. It's all good. It just means, though, we're not seeing the thing that I wanted to. Yes. This is not in the... I was going to say it's not in the right form, but it sure is, actually.
Are you guys hearing the music?
I was gonna say I actually can't hear anything at all, other than
Okay,
you.
good. Okay, good. That's probably for the best. Okay, we'll leave it at that. I don't want to get copyrighted. But I thought I'd get a little, I thought I'd take a chance. Okay. Oh, you know what? I don't know if the music audio would be coming in through Discord. But maybe people on the stream can kind of maybe hear it. True story. True story. Twitch is, Santa is regularly doing that. Yeah. So if you want to watch some movies or whatever. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever. Go ahead and resend. Boom. Okay. So we see check all. Oh, Sophia. Okay, so you hear, okay, Slackers, afternoon, and dub. Let me just due diligence here. Slackers, afternoon, and dub. Yeah, go on Bandcamp. Buy this record. It's chill. Good instrumental dub reggae. All right, enough of that. So I'm expecting to see, but maybe let's go back to the MDN documentation. Let's read the friendly manual here. I gotta somehow tell it, I think, that it's part of the right form, I think. So these inputs are not doing that. Ooh, okay. Let's go back into this. We're doing something set up. We're doing something to give the data to the back end that I completely forgot about. But I think actually this just makes sure things are checked that need to be based on the data, you know. We're doing the same kind of local storage thing with all these checkboxes here. This is all local storage too. And as let's get a little bit. Yeah. Music popping up there a little bit too much. And as I mentioned, we don't ever see this. The back end of the website doesn't ever see this until we do, you know, form shenanigans on the CFT generator page. And we send it all here. So I wonder, I'm just going about this all wrong. Maybe I should just put it there. Let's be the change we want to see, right? We were just talking about putting these options here. Huh, that's awkward, but okay. So now I should be able to reload the page. Yeah, just send it. And they should stay checked. Ooh, that's great. It just works. A rare moment in my JavaScript coding experience. All right, we're not going to put a label there just yet, but it obviously needs one because it's just a magic value. Let's go back to our Python log. Are we yet seeing yes, dev? All right, first off, we'll open up a tmux session so I can get some buffer searching going on here. We'll submit that. Yes, dev. Oh, there it is. Oh, geez. Oh, me, oh, my. I was just refreshing the last page that didn't have that. So anyways, here it is. Yes, dev. Nice. Wow, cool. It's going to be that easy. And Python, a bit more, Python a bit more sane, so we don't have to do quite as many hoops to get that data out of here. So, memlist we want yes dev in mlist. Should be all we need. Oh, no, you know what? Cancel it. I'm going to click the button. There we go. True, true. That's good. Let's uncheck it. Aha, there we go. Nice. All right. So this is basically all we need now for the CFG generator backend to know I want the dev stuff. Let's go and put that label in there and make it work.
Man, there's some interesting numbers at the website this week.
Oh
Top
yeah.
refer, an unknown top refer just below Google by 1,000 hits, way above YouTube, Reddit, everything else. I wonder what it is.
Yeah, right. So Goat Counter is a bit of a minimalist tracking software, right? We're not trying to spy on people too deeply. We just want to know the basics and leave your privacy to you, but just counting the goats, as the name says. And so, yeah, we are left with a lot of this. We can expand, for example, here. We can see unknown popping up all over the place. I will say, I think unknown tends to be refers like Discord. Because if we look here, we have the new, I don't know if you've seen this one, Hurdrax. We have the new GitLab stats tracker, which I implemented just this week, which shows users counts visiting all of our GitLab websites, including the new update center. And we see unknown popping up here a lot. And when I first enabled it, unknown was all that was on there, and we had only posted it in Discord. So that's a pretty good hint that Discord links show up as unknown on here for whatever reason.
God, these numbers are always great. I will never get tired to look at locations. It's like,
Oh,
gets me
I
every time.
know. I know. And if we just look at the GitLab numbers, it's kind of crazy, man. Your people down in Brazil have just been eating it up. They're unknown, coming from Discord.
Oh yeah. You have a lot of fans down here.
I'm humbled. All right. All right.
I wonder why.
Well, I don't want to brag, but this was happening way before I got here. Johnny is literally worldwide famous.
I don't know.
Unfortunately, of all the countries we have in the world now at war, they're all in the top 10 list now. Like even there, some people are finding the time to get to modding OpenMW.
Yeah, it's truly. Hmm?
Hurdrax, now that you mentioned that, would you be interested in doing a Brazilian version of the modding OpenMW video?
Well, for sure. I think we were working, on some localization files, right, Johnny? A little, I think last year. But you say like actual narration in Portuguese? For sure, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Mod plugin. We're going into
We
the
also
guts.
need to hype it up that the Colonel is our official video producer now, and some amazing things to come in the future, right?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it earlier. I was debating showing this teaser that Gonzo cooked up. I don't know. Is it too soon, Gonzo? Should I hold off?
Go ahead. Yeah, no,
All
go
right.
ahead and show it.
Let's play it. Then this is going to be a sneak preview of this video. We're hoping is it gonna just, yeah, it's just gonna.
There are so many. I mean, oh, you're doing the chapters one? Yeah, that one is awesome.
Yeah.
You can show this one or the other one.
Oh, where's the other? Wait, did I miss the other one? Help me out, Gonzo. I'm failing here.
I got you. 1 second.
We'll do the
It's pretty
chapters.
far up there.
So let's pause the slackers here. Let me make sure we got
God, this is so cool.
And so yeah, these are, correct me if I'm wrong, Gonzo, but these are going to be the scenes that you'll see at the start of each chapter of the video, right?
Exactly.
Thank you for that link. I'm derping here. Oh. Awesome. Okay. Cool.
Very nice use of the Mystic Cards font. I'm a big fan of using Mystic Cards everywhere I go.
Oh yeah.
God, look at that Sophie sky. Ah,
I was using magic cards at first, and I'm like, wait a minute, no, I'm doing a no. I need to back up here.
This is great. Wow. Cool. Yeah, I got introduction sequence. Ooh, I'm very hyped for that one. This is a great shot. Wow. Ooh, this too. Anything old Ebonheart is like just.
Yeah.
Ooh, 8K Starfields, huh? Nice. I haven't even checked that yet.
I turned off Sophia's clear blue skies in order to get the night skybox peeking through the clouds.
Only
is
thing
the
missing
intro.
from that is that the shaders chapter. We gotta have Gonzo doing one of those. I mean, the man knows his shaders, and just that'll be amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I think that belongs maybe in a performance-focused video even. I don't know. Ooh, this is great. New Illinibi. Ooh. Unfortunate. Right here. What can you do, though? Ooh. Wow. This is going to be a worthy successor to the last tour video I did. That's like going on 3 years old now. 2.5 years. Yeah, totally agree. That could be something, right? Like the theoretical MOMW launcher. Let me drop this music down before we get copyrighted. The theoretic MOMW launcher should be able to accept like whatever config presets, you know, easily, I would hope, you know. That's what my local setup does that I do here with my shell script and whatever. I've got like differently named settings files, you know, and I just easily swap them in and out. I think a cool launcher would allow for that. To not only have
But
like...
I was just gonna say that in response to what Sophia said, the one thing that I think could be cool as well is maybe having you, Sophie, and Gonzo, and maybe Johnny to actually sort of show it live what every one of these sort of sections, what they mean. Gonzo I wrote Shotgun for him once, and he was just walking me through every single one of those. And it's also sort of cool to understand sort of what if you change one of these sliders, what does it do exactly? Instead of just having ready to go sort of default settings for every user, which is also a good thing to have. But I think you guys have what it takes to sort of explain, like if you change this or inner lighting or clouds or bloom, whatever. It could be an also cool sort of live thing video.
I love that idea. I mean, if Gonzo, if you're down, I would love it. If you drove that, and maybe Hurdrax, Sector, and I and Sophie, we can sit there and kind of be shotgun and shoot questions, and then Sophie can take over, and we can kind of describe maybe you know, each of our kind of preferred takes on this. Because, yeah, what we have in MOMW post-processing pack is like a general config, but it's certainly made by me, you know, so it more reflects my setup than anything else. It would be cool to go over. Yeah, awesome. Me too. I would love that too. MOMW show. I'm loving it. It's already like shaping up pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I just got to get you guys in here on camera too, so it's not just my stinky beard.
I'm going to have to buy a webcam then.
All right. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding a field on our plugin data. Okay. And so it's going to be something like this. Dev build. Whoop. And again, my own mod, Natural Character Growth and Decay Morrowind Lua Edition, has a Lua code that has to run only on the dev builds. And there is unfortunately no way to do it in a way that's just like transparently compatible to 0.48 and 0.49. If you put a non-existent script context in an OMW scripts file, it blows up. I don't think anybody really thought about forward compatibility really. But yeah, it's done. So maybe before we launch 0.49, we could be a little more, we could like emit a warning, right? If a mod, or maybe that's wrong. Maybe we want it to be an error. I don't know. I would have to like really talk it over. So for now, I have simply just created a separate option here. And so we'll say dev build true. And this will allow us to then, in the query from the CFG generator, just simply be like, do you want that or no? All right. It's going to be that easy. And I think, so there are mods that are dev build only at present, but we only indicate them. Let's get a browser over here. Where am I? We only indicate them currently. We'll look at my own dev build only mod, signpost fast travel, and we really only indicate that it's a dev build by way of the tag here, and then by some usage notes text. So, you know, I'm starting to think, do we want to put a dev build field on mods itself where we can say not just the data path, not just the plugin, everything in the mod is dev build only. But I don't know. I don't think that's actually necessary. I think that's scope creeping it. But we do need to add it to plugin and data path mod plugin. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. We'll go ahead and nuke that. Okay. And we'll, yeah. All right. So now, now the struggle I'm having. Yeah, well, so thank you, Sophia. I mean, so what I'm struggling with now is, all right, I've got, I have a thing that tells me both does the plugin belong as a dev build option and the folder path. You know, so now am I going to go in here and like mark all of the signpost fast travel stuff as dev build only, and then it will implicitly be disabled if somebody checked it? You know, so this is what I mean. We're going to have to load a slightly bigger list. Here we go. We'll load up expanded vanilla while my laptop trembles a little bit. Oh no. Shoot. Okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to crunch the database, but here we go. Reset. Okay. So what do I mean? I can use the live website. It's cool. What do I mean? I mean, I am going through expanded vanilla. I have gone to the custom CFG section. I have checked everything, including signpost fast travel, everything, including all these dev build mods. And let's say in the data now I have put the correct dev build only attributes on their folder paths, on their plugins, anything they provide. So then the user checks these, but they get nothing from their CFG selection. So I don't know. Whereas with natural character growth and decay, the difference would simply be they get the non-dev recommendations. I don't know. I think for now we're just going to stick to the case where it's sticky, right? Stick to the case where it's sticky for like natural character growth and decay. And we'll think about, you know, do we need to add it to everything for signpost fast travel or not? Or, you know, if the user doesn't want it, they simply just turn it off because the whole mod is dev build only. We're going to do that. All right. We're going to leave it at that. Okay. You guys are the best rubber ducks, I got to say. We're still chugging through the, it's been so long, I kind of forgot how long it takes us to get through here, huh? While we do that, though, we'll do...
It ain't a cheap date.
No. Let's look at the, so we got the list, the 2024 version of the stream notes. I'm going to actually have monthly notes. And I had wanted to look at fixing bugs and go home. So actually, since the last time I streamed, it's been that long. I've actually created a few new Lua mods, including this one right here, which is a Lua implementation of the NPC schedules concept. And why this is good in Lua is because it allows me to dynamically look at all NPCs and decide based on heuristics of things that we think about in advance. You know, we look at this GIF here. Should they? Oh, come on, GitLab, you're killing me. You know, at nighttime, is this somebody who at nighttime is gonna go inside, and during the day they're gonna walk back to their spot? And unlike the NPC schedules mod in MW script, which would simply disable and enable NPCs, meaning they would vanish, it does some stuff to make sure you're not looking at them with a raycast, but it will simply disappear them with a disable. My method here actually will take a look at the NPC. Our buddy Vadius Nukius here, he actually has a door with his name in it that goes to his house. And so as you can see here from the GIF, when it's nighttime, they walk to the door, they go inside. You can actually unlock his door, go inside, and find him standing there awkwardly right in front of the door. I haven't worked out how to move him just yet. We can't load cells enough to do that, so I think that's just how it's going to have to be. But anyway, I put a bunch of bugs in here. It's broken, hence the warning. And I wanted to fix them on the stream, but you know, we've gotten quite far in this, but we haven't fully implemented it. Maybe we'll get there. Are we ready? Yes, we are. Okay.
Well, not to sidetrack too much, but I do think that's an interesting question. Like, why do you not have the capability of doing what you need to do once he's inside the house in order to move him around?
Yeah, I would love to go there, actually. So, because we do... go on.
Well, as far as I know, when you do a cell.getAll, that effectively loads the cell in its entirety by the engine. I've seen Erm complain about this a handful of times, and it is a bit annoying. But
it does
give you the capability of, like, you should be able to nav mesh through there, right? And, like, go near the bed or something to that effect.
Yeah, and actually, if we just take a quick look here at that's actually what we're doing. We're doing a get all, and a couple of times, in a couple of cases, we're doing a get all. So, like, we are implicitly inserting the player. We're functionally equivalent to inserting the player into that cell, right? Like, when you do a get all, as Sector just said, everything's loaded, right? And it's in the save file, like you walked in there, which has the unfortunate side effect of causing the save file to get larger more quickly. It won't bloat it in the sense that it's adding stuff that wouldn't be there, but like you're going into a place before you actually go into it, you know, which is going to make your save file bigger.
Well, there's also there's an even worse, more dangerous consequence to that, right? Because we can't edit cells, or saves rather. So because we lack any kind of capability to modify our saves and everything gets stuck in there, you might end up with a mod load order issue or something to that effect that you now think you might not be able to solve or have a harder time dealing with because some random Lua script loaded the cell. Even
actually,
though
I'm
you
glad
yourself had never actually been in there, like it's in your save now and you're stuck with whatever issues might exist inside there.
I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because I wanted to ask you, and just keep forgetting, but you're probably the most correct person to ask at this point. So, like, I was told that Morrowind and by extension OpenMW saves are simply like formatted, they're plugins, right? They got records and so forth, right? Is that off base?
Oh yeah, it's literally just an ESP file. It's a very fancified one with a lot of like record types that you wouldn't see in something that the construction set made, but that's exactly what it is. It works effectively the same way that a merge plugin does. It is just forced to the end of your load order, and it overlays all of your changes on top of the world.
Wow, so you went there before I even was going to ask. Merge plugin. So, okay, can I not dump it to YAML with Delta plugin or G7's, you know, TS3 conversion tool? Dump it to JSON?
So it's kind of convenient that you ask. I was just looking at this in G7's Test 3 previously. Um, from what I could tell, he only has support for stuff that would be made by the construction set, so there's nothing for saves in there. And as far as I've seen of Delta plugin, he hasn't implemented support for the record types in saves either. So hypothetically, you totally should be able to. It's just
Yeah.
that like nobody has taken the time to actually de-hard code those and put those into one of the Rust libs that we could use for this.
I got you. Okay, so 2090 then. I see. And speaking of 2090, I just want to echo something Sophia just said here. I think if the dev option was not clicked, it would hide elements in custom CFG relating to them and in the mods themselves from the list process. Yeah, actually, that is not a 2090 thing. I think that'll be part of this main thing, and that's a great call out. We want to make sure. So if I don't have, yeah, exactly. We want to make sure. Let's get out of here. We want to, oh my, let's just use the home key. We want to make sure, oh geez, that's right, the database is crunching. If you have not enabled dev builds, when you're just going and you're looking at the NCGD page, that it would not include the dev stuff in the information that you see. And we could, that'll be part of this. That's pre-2090 for sure. So, okay, Sector, wow. We are like... We're all over the place trying to like make everything happen at the same time. We're talking about the MOMW launcher. We're talking about now the save editor concept. How it's like, does this, because as I understand it, saves are not fully like sussed out from the vanilla side, right? Like they understand it to some degree and have editors and things, but it's not fully demystified, right, in the binary side.
I think that I bet G7 and the MWSC team probably do have a pretty good understanding of it, and whatever tools the vanilla folk have just work well enough. I've never heard anybody complain that they feel like they don't have the capability of editing their saves. So it's kind of a unique pain point for us on the OpenMW side because we're the ones that don't have any like real visibility over the ESS format. The save converter doesn't really work or do much of anything at all, actually. There's a bunch of unique record types in OMW saves, and they do a bunch of stuff that regular TES3 saves don't. You can kind of read them a little bit with TES3 command, but you can only read like the part where it shows your load order, and then after that, TES3 command just has a stroke and freaks out.
I see. So, and it seems like before we could do something really meaningful with that, the OpenMW team would need to configure, or they would need to commit to some like, right? Because I think they're not totally committed to the save format, and they can kind of change it at will. But like once we start like building tooling around it, becomes harder to do that, right?
Yeah, I think it would be really beneficial if we were able to push to get some of these record types implemented in Delta plugin, because then it would be relatively trivial for us to be able to have a functional save editor.
Yeah, I mean it's a need. It's a need.
I'm kind of skeptical about like how I want to go about it personally, because I am very invested in the concept of the launcher, but like there's a lot of infrastructure work that needs to happen, especially in manipulating plugins before we do that. Because if we do get to doing the launcher, I want to make it do all of the things that we would consider relevant, and part of that is being able to read and understand save data, even just a little bit, because we do sort of need to do some of the things that Rymash is able to do. The engine will clean up all the problematic crap after you remove mods, at least in terms of like what the engine considers a problem, right? But areas that you've been to, things that are broken, things that are badly placed, that's not technically an engine problem, so it doesn't care. Like, that's totally valid. There's not really a good way for the engine to look at that and be like, I have to undo this. Yeah, the doors, or any number of misconfigurations that you might run into in the world. So that would be a really nice thing to have. And even if we could just have a UI that like shows our saves and the thumbnails embedded inside of them, that would be great.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. That's been on my wish list for so long. One of these days, I'm just gonna have to like get my feet wet in the Rust G7 lib pool and start cranking something out. We got to make this happen.
Did we congratulate Sector on his gratification? I don't think we did.
Not on the stream, but let's do it formally. Yeah, congratulations, my green named friend.
Yeah.
But really, congratulations and thank you for like working on the CS. You know.
Yeah, he's not gonna hang out with us anymore. Just saying goodbye. Not gonna hang with the
not at
plebs
all.
anymore. Even his voice changed.
a-
Notice like a more neutral tone, like talking to the plebs, like, "Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah, I'm just here hanging with the lower classes just to see how the poor live."
No. I have tried to be like a little bit more professional, right? Because I don't want to say something too stupid, and you guys know I'm like off the wall, right? So I don't want somebody to like smack me on the wrist and be like, "Hey, you can't be an idiot in our chat. Go do that in your own Discord, dude." But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy working on the CS, and it has actually genuinely helped because I've been able to facilitate some really interesting discussions with them. Like in previously when I had talked about it, I think for a while, like they just didn't really acknowledge it, and I don't really blame them for that. But like the other day, I don't even remember what it was that I had brought up. I mentioned some relatively minor issue, and 3 or 4 of the other team members were all like, "Well, I don't like this little thing about the save load flow, right? And it doesn't really support data directories very well, and you need to update this little thing." And I was like, it was just really nice to be able to like understand where the problems are with it, and I think it's a great tool to work on. It's definitely it's got its jank moments for sure. But I have a lot.
It's
of
worth
faith in it.
rescuing.
I think so. I think so. I like the way that it thinks. I like its philosophy, right? Because one thing that I learned about the ESP format, and one thing that really helps me think about it in general, is that it's literally just a spreadsheet. And the reason I started thinking that is because in the original construction set, there is literally a button to export everything to a spreadsheet. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh
This is just
snap!
a
I didn't know
glorified-
that.
It's just a glorified
Oh, yeah.
spreadsheet manager
Is it
with
literally a
renderer
CSV?
stuffed into it.
Like literally,
It is
comma
liter-
separated.
Yeah, literally. And you can like export the specific things, right? Like export
That's
potions
amazing.
to CSV, export dialogue. So at some point, like a Bethesda employee was editing plugins in fucking Excel, right?
Had to be,
Um,
right?
They wouldn't have put the button in there if somebody didn't want it, you know?
Right.
So the OpenCS takes that philosophy very literally.
Interesting.
Some parts of like the way that it's laid out are not too great, but I do love the spreadsheet methodology because it makes it really stupidly easy to extend it and add new types of stuff to it. And so once things are cleaned up, I genuinely think that it will probably be easier to implement stuff into the construction set than in the engine itself. Of course, you know, there's a lot of reasons for that. Like, we don't have to implement script logic in the construction set. That's not our problem, really.
Did you
But
guys hear
there's all
that?
kinds.
Can you guys hear this? Sort of like a whisper. I think is wait. I can hear it now. I think it's the voices of the masses of openmw CS users just asking for. Wait. It's got a distance. Let me clear the sound. Legacy controls. Legacy controls. Come on, Sector. We got you in, man. Give the people what the people want. For
Yeah,
fuck's
well,
sake, we're old, man. We cannot rebuild muscle memory. I'm 45.
No,
Oh, right.
honestly, regardless of the muscle memory, like everybody has said that they do not like the controls, and I agree. That's one of the very first merge requests I ever raised,
fine with 'em.
actually.
But Johnny is not a standard. The man is just nah.
No, it's because I'm used to him,
Well,
and it's what I know, right? I don't know the original
No.
CS really. Well, I do, but yeah.
I mean, I don't either, right? But I think it's fair to say like the camera controls are not particularly ergonomic because of the defaults on the mouse, right? Like grabbing stuff with your middle mouse just doesn't really feel great.
Oh, but I'm not asking for a replacement, just as an option. I mean, God forbid, I'm not saying just take whatever it's in there that's working. I'm just as an option for old people that cannot put themselves through the pain of rebuilding muscle control for the basic functions. Oh, please,
Well,
my kingdom
You're
for
barely
legacy
older than
control.
me, dude. You're barely older than me, dude.
No, you're
so,
21. Come on, that beard is just fooling everybody. I mean,
Please.
so my goal on this front was pretty simple, right? Because there are a bunch of different
It
types of
works.
selection controls that we need, like being able to lock things on a specific axis, like you can do in literally every other 3D editor.
right.
And for stuff like the mouse,
Oh no, it doesn't
I
work.
was just
Oops.
going to change the defaults. One thing that I enjoy about the OpenCS is that it's extensively configurable, like to an insane degree that I think nobody really understands. Every single control that is ever bound anywhere for anything, for any reason, can be changed in there. There's like 12
Interesting.
different pages
As an Emacs
where,
user, I'm interested in this.
and you can rearrange you can change the UI settings such that it behaves a lot more like the original construction set. Like one thing that you can do, for example, is to make it so that new windows, like when you open a cell or when you open an object to edit it, it will open in a floating window, much like how the original construction set does it. So you can drag things around in your workspace. That was one of Zini's biggest goals with it, was to make it a really extensively configurable tool so that like your workspace can suit you. Um, but we lack in the documentation so much. I think nobody does that, and they just assume that like you can't really change it at all.
Now, could we ship like a preset that is like the TESCS preset for controls, you know? Because it writes all that stuff to a text file, right? Settings and whatever.
Yeah, yeah, it has its own settings.cfg. It's settings-cs.cfg. So we totally could actually. That would be a very easy way to go about it.
Just a
Man,
thought.
once that's implemented, I don't know.
My first goal right now is I'm trying to close up all of the merge requests that I have open right now, and there's pretty much only 2 left, and one of them is the control. So that will hopefully be taken care of very soon. I just have to do some like really minor cleanup on it. I've been a little bit distracted because I have too many shiny things that I work on. After the stream is over today, I have to go ship an update for the Starwind server, which we just rebooted recently. I think I talked to you a little bit about that, Hurdrax, maybe.
Yeah, we did. I'm starting to be concerned for you, my friend, because either that or you're an artificial intelligence and we don't know because don't think that, oh, and the wiki and the sector as chief
Right?
researcher for the, ooh, and the man is going to be our chief researcher and interviewer from the technical side of things for the historical society preservation effort. So yeah, this
Ooh.
man has a lot of balls in the air. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I had to take like 2 or 3 days this week to just relax because I was like, I'm getting back into this phase where I can't even keep all of
Dude,
the things I want to do in one day in my head. I was like,
dude,
oh shit, I gotta slow down, and
you and
I
I are
just wanted
just
to play some
here.
Resident Evil for a bit.
Yeah, you and I are just here because Johnny is a very generous and gracious guy. Because the squad is Johnny, the Colonel, Sophie, and Ronick. You are just a glorified cheerleader, and I'm just a distant cousin that every now and then visits and just, drinks a little bit, and then come on. God
Please.
damn it, you just multitasking is only Johnny can pull that off, like with some
Oh,
consistency,
please.
like he does. Oh, come on!
All right. Ooh,
Like
I
I'm
think you
doing.
undersell yourself just a little bit there, buddy. You're like
Well,
you're like
Yeah.
the Silver Surfer of Morrowind modding, dude. You need to like. You
Sophie,
should be a
definitely one of our prime
WWE announcer.
cheerleaders. Sophie from day one
Sophie,
was one of our cheerleaders, though.
Sophie cheerleader. No, Sophie, you are a hardcore contributor. I mean, God, I mean,
Yeah.
please,
Coming to the table with
hardcore.
patches. Yeah.
Yeah, you and Ronick just came to save Gonzo
Yeah, I haven't been
and
any
Johnny.
patches.
Yeah, Gonzo is that's very true. He does so little. He's just our chief hound dog and pretty much the greatest troubleshooter that ever lived. I mean, well, that's not, I mean, much, but
Man, I had a nightmare like 2 weeks ago, or like, oh, what? Wait, no, it was last weekend. My computer wouldn't boot. I was like, no.
I mean,
That was
Gonzo,
a nightmare?
if you know
I
he's
thought that
related
was a
to
real
Abbott,
event.
right?
We're back.
Gonzo and Abbott are related. They're distant cousins, but if you run a DNA test, you will find that they have the same ancestors because these two would just they will latch on a problem and they would just not let go until it's solved. Like Gonzo is just scary. I mean, if he sets his mind to solve something like a bug or troubleshoot something, it just he's not gonna let go.
Yeah, it's Gonzo and really all of our, collective effort of the squad that has
Oh
really
yeah.
made this the best year in the history of the website. And honestly, we're coming up on the 10-year anniversary of the website. It's 8 years of the website this year. Let's plant the seeds, 10 years. We got to really just wow them. I don't know. We got to do something.
And to go even further, right? Dark Elf guy announced. Gosh, I don't remember when exactly it was that he gave the numbers, but in terms of recorded history, since he's been around, last year was by far the most active year in Morrowind modding, period.
And not only
Let's just
that,
take a look
but
at our
this
own
January,
stats.
last year was the biggest year, and this January already beat last January. So it's the best January in the history of Morrowind in terms of mods released in January.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We'll just wait for our own stats to load, but I have an entire history of stats. These stats you can see on the website begin November 4th, 2023, because I had a boo-boo with the server, but I have all the data from before then. I just have to go through a conversion process, and I want to make sure that I remove bot traffic and that kind of thing, which would be misrepresenting of the data. We'll eventually have an extensive history, but if we go back to if my server can do it, if we go back to just November 4, the website, 2 years from there today, we have over 1 million page views, which is just really astonishing to think about. Yeah, it's like, wow.
Man.
And as you noted, yeah, just the places where people are coming from to see us, it's wild to see. Whoa!
God, look at
Server
that.
says no. So yeah, it'll be interesting when I finally spend a day on a weekend, and I fix the data and import the historical data. I'm gonna need to update the back end of the website. We're using SQLite on MOMW, and it's great. But for this, there's just too many database records. I'm gonna have to switch it to Postgres. Here we go. Half year. I'm gonna be bold and click that one now. But then hopefully it will get millions of hits worth of data and not blow up the way you're seeing here on the camera. But yeah, until then you can brave the long loading times and potential crashes to see. We're looking at 90 days here, 848,047 visits. And, as you noted, some really interesting numbers here, right? Like Pale Moon has more users than Microsoft Edge, apparently. At least for our niche, which I think is,
Somehow I'm not even remotely surprised.
Right, I'm not. Yeah, but it's an interesting metric to note.
Man, look at Poland up there beating countries 10 times the size of it. Wow.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poland.
Oh man, yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So 1,031,676 since November 4th, when I restored this and upgraded to the new goat counter version. And yeah, just like let's take a quick minute to just
Wow.
expand this down here. You can come here too yourself, stats modding openmw.com, and just brave. It might crash on you if you ask for too many visits.
Man.
Yeah, right. Just
God, look at Ukraine up there. So fucking cool. Oh,
lots of our Ukrainian friends going out to Vardenfell.
man, Turkey, Serbia. Wow.
All right, my brothers
I
and
never
Greece,
get
brothers
tired.
and sisters.
Yeah, your relatives up there. Oh my God. Malaysia, for crying out loud.
And just
I mean,
countries.
this is
Yeah, you wouldn't expect people are into Morrowind in parts of the world. Maybe I'm just ignorant, but maybe for sure I'm ignorant. But it's just so cool to see, right? Iraq, Vietnam. Wow, cool.
Pakistan.
Kazakhstan. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. What else can I say? Wow. Okay. Well, we're basically. I didn't even occur to me. We're kind of at time now. I'm gonna put the slackers back on for the last couple of minutes here, and I just want to thank everybody for joining today for the return of the stream, and a big thanks to Sophie, Gonzo, Hurdrax, especially in Sector, for coming into the voice, making the MOMW show a reality. And I think it's cool. I think it works, and I want to keep doing it. And yeah, eventually maybe we'll get like some talking heads going on, too. But thank you, and it's been awesome. I had a blast. I'm gonna go have lunch here, but let's wrap up. Let's take a quick look at what we did. Right, so we implemented the ability for folks to come in on the settings page, opt in to dev build features, and we're leaving off with me like being halfway focusing on code, halfway talking to the squad, and not making much progress. But we're basically plugging it into the CFG generator output. Hopefully, after I get some food in me, we can get it working as expected. And then yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with another stream, and I think I'm going to go with a schedule of twice a month to do the stream, which is a little bit less than I used to, but we'll keep it moving forward. And yeah, so thank you, everybody, and happy modding. We'll see you in the next stream. Say bye, everybody.
Pleasure
Bye.
to see you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
All
Take
right,
care,
see
everyone.
ya.